Hi everyone. I'd like to introduce you to a game that my class of grade 5 children and I we've come up with this morning, a bit of trial and error. We've played it and it's called Prediction and it works on our number facts. What do you need? You need a hundreds chart. This is a 120 chart. 2 dice. We use the 10-sided dice. Once again, as with all our games, you can chop and change to suit the ages and abilities of your children, and some counters. About 3 or 4 children play the game. You can have less, more, it's up to you. Player 1 rolls the first dice. A 6 comes up and says to the rest of the group, 6 times what? So we're predicting what the next number will be on the second dice. So for myself, I might say, okay, 6 times, I think it'll be a 5. 6 times 5 is 30. I put a counter on 30. Another child in the group says, 6 times, I think it's a 7 that's going to come up. 6 sevens is 42, so they put their counter on 42. And the other player in the group says, I think a 9's going to come up. 6 nines is 54. They place a counter on 54. The player who started the roll then rolls the second dice. 6 times, whatever comes up. If you had it on 54, you win all the counters on the board. If you had it on 6 times 6 is 36, you would take them. Whoever has a counter on the answer collects all the counters on the board. If no one has the correct counter on the correct answer, whoever's closest to that number gets to keep all the counters on the board. Then we rotate it. Next player rolls. They roll a 7 times. Okay, is it going to be 7 times 6? I'll put on 42. Is it going to be 7 times 9? I'll put on 63. Whoever has a counter on the answer when that second dice is rolled collects all the counters on the board. If no one has a counter on that answer, whoever is the closest gets to collect them. Here's an example how it works. Hope you enjoy this. It's called Prediction. Cheers. Okay, this is how we play Prediction. Player 1 gets 2 dice. Just rolls the first one. 1 comes up, it's a bit too easy. You might go for a bit more. Okay, 5. 5 times. 5 times what? And then we'll roll this dice to get the second bit. 5 times what? Player 1 thinks, I think it's going to be 5 times 5. So they put a counter on 25. Another player says, I think a 9 might come up. So 5 times 9, put it on 45. Another player thinks, I think a 2 might come up. 5 times 2 is 10. And the fourth player in our group says, I think a 6 might come up. 5 times 6 is 30. So players will remember which one says, and then they roll the next dice, and it's a 5 times 8, 40. No one's got it on 40, but who's the closest? Now, this one is only 1 square away, but it's 10 away. This one, 45, physically it's further away, but in number terms it's closer. 45 is closer, so they get to take everything. That's an important step we found when explaining this to the kids today. Then we go to the next person. So that player has collected 4 different colours. Those go into their bank. Players then go for the next round, swap it round, and there we go.